Hey guys, what is going on? We got something a little bit different for you here today. We're going to be taking a look at each weapon category in Vanguard and talking about what I believe is the best gun in each category. We've got SMGs, assault rifles. Now, in this game at the moment, we do have a lot of guns that are actually fantastic in each individual category. So we pointed out some honorable mentions where we see them along the way. But just before we do get into talking about the best gun in each category in Vanguard here, make sure you do hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on. I do very much appreciate it, and it really does help me out. Of course, about 85% of you guys watching this right now are not subscribed, and if you could take the time to join our little community here, that would mean an awful lot to me, and I'd love to see our little community grow. So let's take a look at the best guns in each category in Vanguard Season 2 Reloaded. So starting us off here with the assault rifle category, this is usually the first one that you look at in most games. We do have, in my opinion, the best one being the Cooper Carbine. Now, this did get a little bit of a nerf to one of its attachments recently, but I still believe this is one of the best guns in the game. Not just the best assault rifle, but best guns in the game. Special shout out does of course belong to the BAR, which does feature a 2-shot kill. It is probably the second or third best assault rifle in the game, depending on who you ask. But I've taken the Cooper Carbine here just because I believe this is like an all-rounder here, whereas the BAR is a little bit more specialist with that slow fire rate. Starting off with our attachments here, we do have the Mercury Silencer here. This does of course give us that recoil control and that sound suppression, meaning we do not appear on the minimap when we do fire this weapon. Moving on to the barrel here, I believe we do have the 22-inch custom. This is one of the options that did get nerfed. I believe we are a little bit slower than we have been previously with this, or maybe I think it might have been the damage range that did get nerfed. Either way, this is still probably the best option to go with here, as this does increase our fire rate by about 4% and give us fantastic recoil control as well. In the optic slot, we do have the slate reflector here for a very nice close to medium range optic. In the stock, we do go with the Cooper 45 RS. Again, the initial accuracy and recoil control is a fantastic option to go with most assault rifles, as well as a nice boost to our aim down sight speed. This is nice as well. In the underbarrel, we do have the M1941 hand stop here for the recoil control and the accuracy. In the magazine, we still go with the .30 carbine 45 round mags for the bullet velocity, the range, the damage, the bullet penetration, and the magazine ammo capacity. Again, this does take our damage number, of course, to 34 damage per bullet at 750 RPM, which means we do get a relatively fast TTK for this game of about 180-ish milliseconds. Ammo type, as with most of our class setups, we do go with the bullet velocity increasing lengthened for a 30% increase to that bullet velocity. This is fantastic for our hit detection. In the rear grip, we do have leather grip for aim down sight speed increase of about 4%. In the proficiency, we do have brace here for initial accuracy and recoil, again a very cool stat. And then of course in the kit we do have fully loaded here to give us the most amount of starting ammo with this. Moving on to the SMG category here, I've actually chosen the Wellgun as the best SMG currently within Vanguard Season 2 Reloaded. But again, something to be said of course for the Type 100, as I do believe this does feature about 140 milliseconds worth of that time to kill value, which is really strong here. The Wellgun, however, does play a little bit more like an assault rifle SMG hybrid, which I think always does very well in these games. Starting us off here with our attachments here again, we do have the recoil booster. This does increase our fire rate by 5%, giving us a nice little boost to our TTK here. In the barrel, we do actually have the 320mm SA shrouded barrel for a highly accurate controllable weapon. An interesting thing about this is it doesn't actually mention that it does increase the crit zone anymore, which is actually definitely interesting for this particular weapon. I can't see that on any of the other barrels, so they clearly did remove this, so this is a very interesting change that happened recently. In the optic slot, we do have the slate reflector here again for a nice close to medium range optic. In the stock, we do have the SA43 folding for hipfire accuracy, aim walking movement speed, aim down sight speed, and again initial accuracy and recoil control. In the underbarrel, we actually go with the SMLE pistol grip here for sprint to fire speed, which is really nice increase on this particular SMG. In the magazine, we do have the .45 48 round mag to increase our damage to 45 damage per bullet at 631 RPM is a really nice TTK again. In the ammo type, we do have lengthened here for an increase to our bullet velocity of 550 meters per second, which is a 30% increase. And then in the rear grip, we do have the leather grip just for an aim down sight speed boost of about 4%. In the proficiency, we do go with gung ho here again for that fire increase while we are sprinting. I believe this also affects your sprint to fire speed. And then of course the kit, we do have quick here for again a nice boost to our sprint speed, as well as we do like to rush around with this thing, but again it does play fairly similar to sort of like an SMG assault rifle hybrid here. In the shotguns here, we do have one particular shotgun that we have been featuring a lot recently, and that is the combat shotgun with the slug rounds. I guess you could say the second best shotgun in the game is probably the double barrel. I guess it's a little janky and the shotguns aren't really as good as they used to be. They did nerf them all pretty much very heavily like a little while ago now, but I believe this combat shotgun class setup with the slug rounds that you can get a one-shot kill pretty much any distance on most maps is very fun, and one of the best class setups in in the game. Starting us off here, we do have the M97 full choke here, but because we are firing a slug round, I don't believe this actually does too much for us, so we can skip that one. In the barrel, we do actually go with the sawed-off barrel for a wider pellet spread, increased movement speed, and increased damage. This is very important here. We do combine the damage increase from the sawed-off barrel as well as the magazine, which is the 12 gauge 5-round tube. Again, this does give us a little bit of a damage increase as well as we combine that with the slug as well. And this gives us a damage number of 196, which allows us to get very consistent one-shot kills to the upper torso or just I think the chest as well at any distance on any maps. One-shot kills is so much fun here. In the optic slot, because we do like to fight at medium to longer ranges with this particular sniper build, we do go with the G16 2.5 times scope, but if you do want something a little larger so you can fight at longer distance, you can pick and choose whatever you prefer here. In the stock, we do go with the CGC3M adjustable for the hipfire accuracy, aim walking movement speed, aim down sight speed, and sprint to fire speed. Underbarrel SMLE pistol grip again for more sprint to fire speed here. And then we talked about the magazine and the ammo type, so we move on to the rear grip, which is of course the fabric grip for aim down sight speed and sprint to fire speed. Then in proficiency, we do have the sleight of hand one here because we do have to load each individual shell by hand, so this does increase the speed there. And of course in the kit, we do have quick here for the most amount of sprint speed. Moving on to the LMGs, this is still going to be belonging to the Whitley, I believe. This is still the best LMG in the game, but they did nerf this recently, so it is no longer able to get a 2-shot kill, which is a little sad, but that thing was an absolute demon and has been absolutely crying out for a nerf for a very long time, basically since it did launch. Now the TTK does sit at about 190 milliseconds, which is still definitely competitive for this game, but with that 150 round box mag, this thing is just really undefeatable here. There's also something to be said for, of course, the Bren, which you can still get a 2-shot kill with in that sort of Marksman Rifle style build. If you're looking for that kind of thing on the channel, there's a number of videos that we've made recently about it. But still, with the Whitley here, we do have the Mercury Silencer, which again does give us that recoil control and the sound suppression. The 16-inch CDC shrouded barrel, of course, for the aim down sight speed, fire rate increase, aim walking movement speed, and sprint to fire speed. This is very nice for our mobility, but does make us quite inaccurate here, so just keep that in mind. In the optic, we do have to go with the G16 2.5 times scope again for more recoil control and accuracy. Gracie EM3 in the stock slot for the aim walking movement speed, initial accuracy and recoil, and the recoil recovery and the aim down sight speed. This is a really nice stock. Underbarrel, again, we do have the M1941 handstock variety for the recoil control and the accuracy. Magazine, we still go with the .50 BMG 150 round box mag. This is the one that did get nerfed here as well, decreased to that damage. This used to be 68 damage per bullet and now it is 44, still giving us that 190 millisecond TTK value, but 150 rounds in the mag, so we can just fire forever here. Ammo type, we still go with lengthen here for the increase to our bullet velocity. Rear grip is just of course an aim down sight speed boost again. In the proficiency, we do go with hard scope here because we do really want to walk around with the aim down sight up most of the time anyway, and this gives us a little accuracy for doing so. And then in the kit, of course, fully loaded here for the most amount of starting ammo as well. Moving on to the Marksman Rifle class, which is not something I typically use an awful lot, but I do really like the 2-shot build with the G43. But again, something very nice to be said for the M1 Garand as well, and I've seen a lot of chatter about this from a couple of you guys in my comment section, and you do prefer this over the G43, but I just like this as this is typically the only one that I've actually leveled up in the Marksman Rifle category, just because it was a lot of fun getting those 2-shot kills. So for that build, we do have the L break, which I believe does give us and boost to our accuracy, the ZP 770mm precision barrel for the highly accurate controllable weapon, as well as that flinch resistance, G16 2.5 times scope again for the medium range optic. The Wyvern skeletal does actually give us that aim down sight walking speed, which is very important, and you do want to walk around with your aim down sight up most of the time here because this does allow you to do that. Underbarrel, we do go with the M1941 handstop here for the recoil control and accuracy. The 30-06 10-round mag here does allow us to get that 2-shot kill, but again, only 10 rounds in the mag, so just keep that in mind. You can still get your 2-shot kill, but you do have to reload quite often. Lengthened ammo type, of course, for more bullet velocity. The rear grip, we do have leather grip for aim down sight speed. In the proficiency, we do go with tight grip here. I'd love to go with sleight of hand just because we don't have much ammo here, but more accuracy and recoil during sustained fire is not too bad. And then in the kit, of course, we do have fully loaded here for, again, more starting ammo as well. Moving on to another category that I don't typically have a lot of time for, and that is, of course, the sniper rifles. I know they're pretty fun in this game, but they're really just not a weapon category that is for me. The one that I've leveled up the most is the Gorenko anti-tank rifle, and just being able to get ridiculous one-shot kills feels really satisfying. You can only really get hit markers if you do maybe brush someone's toe, and even then they're probably still going to explode. But I mean, there is also something to be said for the 3-line rifle. I mean, all of them are pretty good apart from maybe the Type 99. You do have to be pretty accurate with this and hit upper torso shots. I think you might end up being able to get attachments that do make this thing a little bit better, but as I said, I'm not really familiar with the snipers in this game. So we are just going to talk about the Gorenko anti-tank rifle. We do have the G28 compensator for a little bit of increase to our recoil control, the 420mm Empress barrel for a nice boost to our aim down sight speed. A lot of the attachments you're looking for here are just aim down sight speed increasing, and the bayonet is a fun one, just be able to stab people at medium range. The FMJ rounds, of course, for more bullet velocity. The fabric grip does give us that aim down sight speed and sprint to fire speed. The Zac custom precision does give us aim down sight speed as well, which is always nice. The shrouded one does reduce the scope glint, which I mean is quite important, and then you can take focus as well if you do want to reduce that flinch distance. This is kind of up to you. And then in the kit we do have deep breath here again for that whole breath duration, but I'm not really sure what else you could go with here. Probably fully loaded, or maybe like fast melee again if you are using the bayonet a lot. But as I said, I don't typically spend a lot of time with the snipers in this game, so you're gonna have to tell me what you believe is the best sniper in the game. We might end up testing it, making class setups, leveling it up a little bit, and we might get around to doing that fairly soon. So that will do us here, guys. In my opinion, these are the best guns in each of the categories in Vanguard Season 2 Reloaded. I'm a little iffy about the snipers and maybe the marksman rifles as well, so if you do have an opinion on those, make sure you do let me know in the comments below. And if you do disagree or agree with anything else that I have said today, again, make sure you let me know below. Again, thank you very much for watching this one. I do massively appreciate it, of course. Make sure you do hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on. Again, I do know that about 85% of you guys watching this right now are not subscribed, so if you could take the time to join our little community here, that would be absolutely fantastic. And again, hopefully that does mean you join us in the next video. Bye!